Hello BookTube, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to Book Babble.
Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over there?
So today I'm going to be doing a tag video. I was tagged by Anna over at Anna the Word Nerd. She created a tag called the 2014 book tag, and I'm super excited to be tagged in this because Anna is the creator of the tag, and I've never been tagged by the creator of a tag, so I love it. I'm super excited. So let's get started. The first question is, what was your favorite book published in 2014? And my favorite book published in 2014, hands down, was The Kiss of Deception by Mary E. Pearson. It was fabulous. I do not want to wait until July 14th for the second book to come out. The cover for the second book was revealed like a month ago, and it is so gorgeous. A lot of people were saying that they didn't like the first cover of Kiss of Deception. I loved it. It was so pretty, and I loved the second one as well. I just loved The Kiss of Deception. It was a great book. Question number 2 is, which book did you read this year that had great characterization? And I had to Google it because I didn't know what characterization was. Don't judge me. English was my least favorite subject in high school. You would never know because I love to read so much. But anyway, so characterization is the process for which an author tells you about a character's personality, and it could either be direct, like this character is quiet, or it could be indirect and showing you their qualities by indirect ways, basically by their actions and the way they say things and stuff like that. So the best book that I read this year that had amazing characterization is The Drawing of the Three by Stephen King. I mean, Stephen King is just amazing. Don't judge me for my horribly ugly cover. This came from my used bookstore. As you can tell, I'm not all the way done, but the first book in this series and this book, the second one in the Dark Tower series, both had amazing characterization, and it wasn't like, it was definitely indirect the entire way, but I loved this book. It was fabulous. It is fabulous. I'm not done reading it. I've got to finish, but it's so good so far. Oh my god, these questions are so hard. I don't know. I gotta look to see what I've read this year. Goodreads! My favorite character this year is hands down Daenerys from A Game of Thrones by George R. R. Martin. I freaking love her so much. She is amazing and beautiful and strong and independent, and she's just awesome. If you guys have not read A Game of Thrones, if you didn't know how the novel is set up, George R. R. Martin writes his novel from the point of view of each character. So like each chapter is from a different point of view of each character. So this chapter is going to be about Caitlyn, and the next chapter is going to be about a different character, the next chapter is going to be about a different character, so on and so forth. I would like skim through the book to find out how many pages I had until I could get to her next chapter. That's how bad it was. And I would like read through really, really quick to get to her chapter, and I would like reread her chapter like 2 or 3 times because I love reading about her. She's an amazing, awesome character. Okay. I know this one like right off the top of my head. Question number 4 is, what is your least favorite character that you've read about this year? It is Violet from Between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea by April Genevieve Chakotay. I freaking hated her. I mean, she was okay in the first book, but in the second book, which is called Between the Spark and the Burn, she sucked. My favorite booktuber ever, Beth June 327, I'll link her channel down below, did a video recently called Characters You Want to Punch in the Face, and she talked about this. I wanted to punch her in the face the entire freaking book. I just hated it. She made so many bad decisions. I don't know. I just did not like her. I think I gave the first one like a 4 out of 5 stars. I gave the second one like a 2 out of 5 stars. It sucked. The second one did. The first one wasn't bad. I don't know. Read it. Make up your own decision. I hated it. I hated Violet. Blah. Next question. Oh my god. Okay. What was it? Shocking plot twist. This is a hard tag, girl. Anna, I gotta give it to you. Because these questions are difficult. Question number 5 is a book that had a shocking plot twist, and the only one that I can think of is Gone Girl by Gillian Flynn. That book and the twist at the end. Can we just? That's all I'm gonna say because spoilers, but holy crap. Question number 6 is name a great author that you discovered this year. And this one is hard too because I just found so many great authors. I think the first one that came to my mind is Cinda Williams-Chima. I read like 6 of her books this year, so I think that's the most I've read. That's like the most books I've read from a single author in 1 year, and I just loved it. I read the entire Air Chronicles series. I've read the first book in the Seven Realms series, and I'm probably going to read the second one by the end of the year, hopefully. we'll see how that goes. But her books are just amazing, so good. She has fabulous writing. She creates amazing worlds. I love her books. She's an amazing writer. Love her. The second author that I found this year that I sadly only read one of her books, and the only reason why I read it, and I'm so glad that I did, because it was the Booksplosion Book of the Month a couple months ago. It was Rumble by Ellen Hopkins. I loved reading her books. Her book, sorry. It was so enjoyable. I can't think of any more off the top of my head, but those two, Ellen Hopkins and Cinda Williams-Chima, love them. Question number 7 is, what book was hyped up in 2014 that you think met the hype? And I read a couple of books that were released this year, but the only one that I can think of that I heard significant amounts about before it was released was Magisterium the Iron Child by Cassandra Clare and Holly Black. And I heard a lot about this book. Actually, I heard a lot of like hopeful things about this book, but negative, because if you don't know, that's the book that is about a boy who is a wizard who goes to a wizarding school, and everyone was wanting it to be a good book, but relating it to Harry Potter, so they thought that they were going to be disappointed. I read the book going in with knowing almost nothing. That's pretty much all I knew, is that there was a boy goes to magic school, and everyone thought it was going to be like Harry Potter, and I tried my hardest to not imagine it with similarities to Harry Potter, and I think I succeeded. I really enjoyed the book. I think it lived up to the hype of it was going to be a great book, and I loved it. It was an amazing book. Definitely go check it out. Question number 8 is, did you see any book to movie adaptations this year? And the only book to movie adaptations that I can think of were The Hunger Games and Catching Fire. I saw those to get caught up to watch Mockingjay, and then I never ended up watching Mockingjay. So I think those are the only two videos as of today that I saw that were book to movie adaptations. They were both amazing. Everyone knows this. I'm gonna go see Into the Woods on Christmas Day, and that was like, it was like a book, and then it was a play, and now it's a movie, and it looks super duper good. If I had filmed this after Christmas, I probably would say Into the Woods, but I think the only book to movie adaptations I watched this year were Hunger Games and Catching Fire, and those were both amazing. Question number 9 is, what book made you cry the most? And that has to be Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. I read this book with my 7-year-old brother. He has to read like 20 minutes a day, and I just picked that one because it was my childhood favorite, right? And by the end of the book, I hope you guys know what happens at the end of the book, but if you don't know, read it. It's amazing. But I just see my little brother's face because we read the ending. The last 2 chapters are so sad, and then so happy, and then so sad again. I don't want to give anything away, but my 7-year-old brother is the first time that he's actually read like a chapter book, and a book that gives you emotion, it gives you the feels, and he's reading it out loud to me, and he just, once he realizes what's going on, he just starts bawling. And I mean, he cried, and then I started crying, and that book, man, if you don't cry at the last 2 chapters of that book, you don't have a heart, because question number 10 is, what is the funniest book you read this year? And the funniest thing that I can think of that I read this year was a couple of Deadpool graphic novels. Hilarious. I love Deadpool. Those were so funny. If you want to get into some superhero comic books, I would suggest picking up a Deadpool comic because they were so funny. Question number 11 is, did you set a reading goal for yourself this year? I did. I set a reading goal for 50 books, and I surpassed that. I am currently at 60 or 61, I think. I was thinking about, like, when I surpassed my 50 goal, I was thinking about resetting my goal to 60, but I was afraid that I wasn't going to accomplish that. And now that I'm at 60, I was thinking about doing it at 70, but now there's only like 3 weeks left in the year, so I'm just like, no. So I read 50 books this year, and I did accomplish my goal, so I was pretty excited about that. Question number 12, I pretty much just answered, was, are you satisfied with your reading in 2014? Absolutely, 100%. I didn't really start reading as a hardcore hobby until August, and to read 60 books since August, I think that was a really, really good thing to accomplish, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Question number 13 are, what are you planning to do differently to become a better reader in 2015? I actually I have a video that I need to edit and post hopefully in the next week or so about my goals for 2015, and I actually created a reading journal, which I talk about in the video. So I'm doing that differently. I'm really like tracking my reading and writing everything down and stuff like that. And I think that it'll just keep me more organized and really let me look back at my thoughts on a book and see what I liked and didn't like and things like that. But I'm going to talk more about that in that video, so stay tuned for that. If it is posted, when I post it, I will put a link in the doobly-doo. Question number 14 is what is your favorite book you read this year? And in lieu of talking about books that I've already talked about, I love just saying that every book is my favorite, but like I said, in lieu of talking about books that I've already talked about, 2 books that really stand out to me that I read this year. One was The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. Great, amazing book. Oh, it's right here. I loved it. It was so good. If you guys have not read this, please check this book out. And the last one, which is The Help by Catherine Stockett. It's in the other room, or I would show it to you. I'm just lazy. Bleh. But if you guys have seen the movie but you have not read the book, you are really missing out. The book is just awesome. Probably the best book that I read this year. I loved it. It was so good. Alright guys, thank you so much for joining me for this tag video. I am going to tag a couple people, but this video is already really long and I have no idea who I'm going to tag, so I will just put it in the doobly-doo. If I have tagged you, I will also, comment on one of your videos or stalk you on Twitter or something like that to let you know that I have tagged you in this video. This was a great tag. Thank you so much to Anna for tagging me in this. If you enjoyed it, please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.